What's up, guys? We are back for another Marvel Legends review, another fan channel exclusive review, and another retro carded exclusive review. So this is kind of the current counterpart to that gray Hulk figure. We're of course taking a look at the retro Deadpool figure. So this guy comes in the same kind of white mailer style box that the Hulk came in, except it's a little bit smaller. You've got your classic Deadpool artwork there. You've got the X-Force logo coming in over top of the X-Men logo, which I really love. And then even the back of the package has the backside of the artwork, which I think is just fantastic and kind of over the top. And of course, you can pop this guy open since it's just an outer sleeve, and you pull out this beautiful, beautiful card back figure. And this of course is meant to mimic that original Toy Biz figure from the 90s. It's similar, it's really, really close. You've got some updated artwork. You've got a little bit of a change up on the call out there, katana and another katana, which I think is fantastic. Figure there in that bubble, and then the back of the package is a very Deadpool thing, more of the Deadpool, you know, the backside of him. You've got classic card art style backer card artwork there, and then you got a bit of a cross-sell with the previous X-Men vintage line. So there's a lot of just plain cool stuff going on here. I said it recently that I would really love for all Legends figures to come like this, but at the same time, I don't want a reason to have to buy two. I did, however, get a second one of these because there was no way I wasn't going to keep one of these carded. So let's rip this one off and take a look. And here he is out of the package, off of that beautiful card, our retro Deadpool. And this guy's kind of interesting because, you know, I kind of thought we already got a retro Deadpool in one of the more recent waves, and we sort of did, but this guy is a little bit more retro, a little bit more Toy Biz, a little bit closer to his first appearance. He's not either of those things. He's kind of an amalgamation of both, so it's not like it's an entire recreation of the Toy Biz figure, and it's definitely not a recreation of his first appearance from New Mutants 98 either. It is similar, and it's close enough while being very much a modern Marvel Legends figure, so I just like this figure, and that's really all it comes down to. I think this is an awesome action figure, and I really like that previous Deadpool. We'll do a quick comparison between the two as well, but if you've seen that one, you really know what's going on here. So let's jump right in, see how he moves. He's on a very familiar but very fun and good body, so you can tilt his head up a little bit. You can go down really well. He rotates side to side, of course. Arms go out. They go up a little bit higher than, you know, perpendicular to his body. They rotate. You've got your butterfly joint, so all of that great range of motion there. You've got your bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. You've got hinges and rotation at the wrist. They are both lateral hinges. They're not vertical. I wish one of them was a vertical, but here we are. You've got an ab crunch that goes backwards and forwards. He has pretty good movement, and you've got a waist twist here. Legs go out about yay far. They kick forward a little bit more than 90 degrees. They kick backwards quite a bit. You've got your thigh cut that are hidden pretty well by the pouches, and then you've got double jointed knees. You have got your boot cut, shin swivel, and then you've got rocker hinges down at those ankles. So he is on a very familiar body, but this one moves so well. And I mean, this is the perfect body for a Deadpool figure. It works really well. It's very agile, it moves really well, and it gives you all the posability that this guy in particular needs. Now, as far as the overall look and feel here goes, the big thing for this guy is the color palette, just the way he looks. We've seen this figure mostly already before, so he's not new territory, but he is different just from an aesthetic perspective because they've given you a little bit more of a deeper red, and they've changed up the offset color from a more standard black to a almost metallic-y blue black. When you get it under the right kind of lighting, like say these incredibly bright white lights that I have, the blue really comes out and it shimmers really well. It may not be entirely accurate to a lot of things, but it works exceptionally well on this figure, and I cannot overstate how cool it looks when you get the right light on there. He just kind of shimmers and shines, and I've said it a number of times, I love metallic paint on figures, and it works really well on this guy. So, you know, you've got kind of your standard Deadpool stuff going on, though. You've got your harness here, which has the two katana sheaths on the back, and of course I've already got the swords in there, but you've got, you know, buckles and pouches upon pouches upon pouches, and that's one thing that they've kind of ramped up a little bit because they've got a second set of pouches on this leg, which is not on the other figure, and I think it works really well. It is a little bit more retro-y, and it's just a very classic looking Deadpool figure. The one thing that's maybe not the most classic is the belt buckle. That's kind of a more modernish thing because he wasn't as self-aware originally. But I do think that this figure just looks fantastic. It very much looks like Deadpool. The sculpt is there. The paint is there. Again, the paint is definitely there. And I was a big fan of that original figure to begin with. And I kind of thought, you know, that's the retro Deadpool that I need. He's not 100% retro, and well, this guy isn't either, but he's a lot closer. And it's weird that I needed this figure after already having that one. Of course, the packaging plays a big role in this, but this guy looks a lot more like what I think of when I think of Deadpool, because I'm not huge on the goofy, self-aware, fourth wall breaking Deadpool. I love classic Deadpool, specifically, you know, early X-Force, New Mutants, well, late New Mutants stuff. And this is more in line with that, and I just think it's really cool to finally have a more consistent figure like that. He, of course, is not 100% there, but he's pretty close. Otherwise, though, it's mostly that exact same figure that we've seen, and I was already a fan of that one, so it was kind of hard to not really enjoy this one as well. But when it comes down to it, a lot of my enjoyment comes from just the nostalgia factor here, and then, of course, I really like this metallic-y, deep, shimmering blue that they added. And just to give you an idea of some of those little changes I was talking about, here is our new Deadpool versus our old Deadpool. And, well, he's not that old, but you can see they're very similar. They're just a little bit different. It's mostly just color palette stuff. And then you've got the extra pouches over here. So you've got different color bands on the wrists, for example, different color harness strap. You've got the different color paint, flat black versus the kind of mixed in blue with that metallic shimmer, and it's just a little bit of a different change. They're very, very similar while still kind of occupying a little bit of different spot on your shelf, your timeline. Maybe your nostalgia factor is a little bit different when it comes to these two figures. I know it certainly is for me, but either way, you're kind of rocking a fantastic Deadpool no matter which one you go with. And then for an area where this Deadpool really excels is gonna be the accessories. And Deadpool's always kind of known for having a bit of an armory in terms of what he comes with, but this guy is very much crammed full. And I wonder if some of it has to do with some of the more recent figures that we've gotten, because a lot of this stuff is very, very similar and familiar to other fan channel exclusives. So to start with, you have got two of these shorter style katanas. They're done up in kind of a like a pearlescent silver metallic plastic with some of the similar color blue inlay that's very close to what's on his costume as well. So you got two of those guys. Hold them in either hand, of course, and then you've got the sheaths back there. You've got this big machine gun that's done up in Deadpool's signature red and black, but it's black, not the blue shimmer color here. And we've seen this recently with one of the fan channel exclusives. I think it was the Punisher figure. We saw that with him. And then we've got a pistol. I know I've seen this recently. I cannot place it. That's just how it happens with Legend stuff for me sometimes. It probably came with that Punisher, honestly. You've got a black gun with a kind of tan grip on it. And then, lastly, guns that we saw with the Agent Anti-Venom, we've got these little submachine guns here, so you got two of those. What I don't really like is that he has all this stuff and you can only store the two swords on him. He can't actually sheath, or holster rather, any of these guns. They have no place to go. They have no home on the figure, but you can at the very least have him holding two swords in the backpack and then having two guns on his person. So there's a lot of potential with this figure in terms of combinations, and you just have a bunch of options with this guy. So overall, this is, I mean, it's kind of a must-have figure for me. Obviously it was. I got two of them, but there is a huge nostalgia thing going on with this stuff for me. And Hasbro absolutely knows what they're doing. They know the target demographic they're after when it comes to these very Toy Biz-esque package type figures. And I'm really just loving every bit of it. More power to them, really, is all I have to say. This figure in particular, though, does a lot for me because I absolutely love this era of mutant storylines. The late New Mutants, early X-Force stuff is kind of my bread and butter when it comes to older comics. Older for me, anyway. And I really love this era of Deadpool. This figure was already fantastic, and they kind of ratcheted it up for me a little bit personally with some of the changes they made, the color palette swaps, and just making it more in line with what I think of when it comes to Deadpool. So, yeah, grab him. I really have nothing bad to say about this figure in general. So, that's going to do it for this look at the Marvel Legends Retro Deadpool. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.